This morning, I'm swinging by one of my favorite healthy alternatives for brunch. This is Juice Crafters. They have amazing juices, acai bowls, and some pretty good kale smoothies, which I'm picking up for my interview with Christen DeLaney, the founder of Cam Jewelry. You have a jewelry line, but I want to hear more about it. Like, what makes Cam Jewelry what it is?
Okay, so I moved here probably 3 years ago from the East Coast, and I was a stylist out there, and it was really hard to pull special pieces because it's such a small market. So I ended up making a lot of my jewelry. So I've been crafting forever, and I was a studio art major, all this stuff. So I was making a lot of the special pieces that we were using in photo shoots because we couldn't get them in Boston. And so I ended up selling like a lot of these special pieces I was making, and then I just started, that kind of naturally transitioned into one-of-a-kind pieces of jewelry. Then I partnered with a fashion designer in in Boston, and we made a metal line, and it was a great way for me to take my sculptural background and turn it into like a smaller piece that I could then sell to people easier than doing like larger installations or things like that. Yeah. So what makes it special to me is it's very much attached to sculpture and meditation and nature, geometry. I make sure like the numerology of it kind of works. So like I'll pick a number of stones, or like I use the triangle a lot just for its like grounding properties. So I like to make sure it means something. It's pretty, and like someone that knows nothing about like metaphysical things or spiritual things or anything like that can just be like, oh, that's a really pretty triangle. I like it. Like it doesn't have to mean something to everyone. I don't really care. I just like to make sure that the things that I'm sending out are like a good positive high vibration. Yeah. So.
Do you remember making your first piece of jewelry?
It was like back to the hemp necklaces I was talking about. It was at like swim meets. I'm from Minnesota, so swim meets, and I would be like making necklaces on the deck, waiting for my turn, and then I would sell them.
Oh, okay.
On the swim deck. Yeah, they might be floating around here. They may be worth a lot. I don't know.
Original.
Yeah, original.
Vintage Cam jewelry. At what point did you decide you wanted to transition from styling to jewelry making full time?
As soon as people like started buying pieces.
Really?
Yeah, because styling is so hard. Like I don't think people are like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna shop. I'm like, you're gonna shop and you're gonna schlep everything all over the place. So I was like, oh wait, I can make things this big and like sell those and schlep something this big rather than like hangers and shoes and like tons of stuff. So I was like, this is way easier. And I don't have to interact with people as much. I was like, it's just me.
You just be creative and do what you want. And then if people like it, they'll buy it.
Exactly.
Can we see what you're working on right now?
Yeah, for sure.
What's your design process like? How do you get inspiration and go from idea to...
Yeah, so I tend to work backwards. Like, I keep a sketchbook of all my pieces, like, going as far back as, like, college. Because a lot of my sculptural pieces from college I've transitioned into jewelry pieces. So I first, like, go through my sketchbook and pull out anything that stops me at the moment. And then I start to form the collection around that. I don't decipher, like, meanings or titles or anything until the very end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I put it all together. I'm like, what is this? I have no idea what this is. Because I've found if I've done it the other way, and I've found if I do it the other way, I feel like so boxed in. I'm like, okay, I can only create triangles. Okay, I can only create evil eyes or, you know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, with retail, I have to keep in mind price point and sellability and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
So how does that work then? How do you think about selling your jewelry? Like, what's been the process of just creating for your own styling needs to transition into a business and working within how the
it's definitely tough.
fashion world works?
Definitely a learning experience. You know, when you first start out and not everyone knows who you are, you can get away with like keeping things around for a few more seasons because not all the buyers have seen it. Not all, you know, you're so new to so many people. So that kind of works in your favor. So I kept a lot of things for several seasons and just like reinvented some of them. But other than that, I take, you know, like, yes, my jewelry is personal, but at the same time, it's a business. So you really have to be open to feedback and not take it personally. Like, because someone doesn't like this necklace has nothing to do with me as a person. So I try to be really receptive to all of that from my showroom and from reps and anybody that's willing to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the process of starting to go out and sell your jewelry? How did, like, if someone was at home like, I want to start a jewelry line, what do they do from there? What did you do?
What did I do? I went and did like trunk shows back in Minnesota where I'm from, in stores. You give like the store a little percentage. You try to sell as much jewelry. Just like going around. I did one in Boston where I used to live.
Yeah, so that's how you got started. Where does it go from there?
I honestly just watched showrooms on Instagram for the longest time to see like what they were posting with their clients, in different stores and that kind of stuff. And ended up meeting with Boutique, who is my showroom now. So they were willing to like take a chance and help me develop. I think she understood that I was a hustler and I would get it done and I would evolve. So
have there been any real challenges in this whole process that you feel like you've had to overcome?
I guess I don't really view challenges as like having to overcome them.
Yeah.
Because there's always challenges.
Right.
So like if you're saying, oh, I have to overcome this, it makes it feel bigger.
Yeah.
You know, every day there should be challenges. Every day there should be things that you're working through. And I think when you're starting your own business, it's all a challenge. That's why it's so fun. Like it's impossible to be bored because you're learning how to do every little thing down to like, oh, I have to register for like a UPS like shipping label, whatever. You know, like every little thing is a challenge when you're first starting out. And I hope that continues. You know, that's what makes it fun. I like the challenge.
Yeah, I like the challenges.
Yeah.
What parts really excite you? What's your favorite thing to do? What part of the day?
Grow it, like the challenge of trying to grow my business in a creative way that's also uplifting other people too. That's like really really important to me, whether it's like working with other people that are doing cool things or I work with a lot of other jewelry designers that are doing cool things, because if I help them out, it just sends a lot of like good energy out there. So my biggest excitement and challenge is trying to grow my business in a sustainably positive way. Yeah. Thanks.
Do you have a big vision for where you hope everything starts to go?
Yeah, I think I'm hoping that jewelry ends up being kind of a small part of what I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I love like doing lifestyle things, and I have a collection called Forage where I travel and pick up, you know, like little knickknacks and carved skulls and tapestries from different places I travel. So I'm always looking to expand the brand beyond jewelry. And just I'm interested in helping like small business owners too. Yeah. So somewhere in that realm, it hasn't really formulated, but somewhere in there. Exactly.
Is there like a best piece of advice that you would offer to someone who wants to start their own business from what you've learned through these past couple of years?
Yeah, I would just say, I feel like everyone wants to have their own business right now. It's like really, it's a hot thing to do. And I think you need to like really check in with yourself and make sure that you are ready to hustle for it. Like, I feel like a lot of people get into designing because they're like, oh, I just want to make pretty things. I spend 10% of my time, maybe less, doing any sort of designing. It's just like, that's not what the business requires. Yeah. So you need to make sure that's what you are ready for in your life.
I like to call like the women that I interview toast of the town. So toast of the town, someone you admire, you think's doing like amazing, badass stuff. Who would you consider your toast of the town? Like, who do you look up to or has inspired you?
And this is a broad answer, but any woman that's like doing her own business right now, and helping other women. It's really easy to do your own business and try to tear other people down that are competitors with you. And I feel like right now there's like a strong movement for women trying to help other women, small business owners. You know, like with what you're doing, with what Create and Cultivate is doing. Yeah. There's a lot of that kind of movement, and I just want to champion that, I think.
I like that.
Great,
I like that answer.
That.
That's a great answer.